those at the top, which you see, the 18 elections, now you see a lot of the things people ran on in 18, attracting the attention of, say, the 2020 presidential candidates in the Democratic scene.
How do you see the Equal Rights Amendment and the flow of feminism from one party to the other?
Right. So these women were also opposed to the Equal Rights Amendment because Phyllis Schlafly told them if it passed, it would make it impossible to ever outlaw abortion, right? And they, of course, you know that in the 70s it was defeated in part by saying that it would compel homemakers into the paid workforce so that they could be equal to men. Of course, those supporters of the ERA said, no, the Equal Rights Amendment could not compel women against their will into the workforce. That would be called slavery, forcing someone to work against their will. We already outlawed that with the 13th Amendment. But they were opposed to it because they felt like this Equal Rights Amendment would force them out of the home and make it impossible to outlaw abortion, right? The ERA had largely been supported by the ERA at first. The Equal Rights Amendment had been, unions didn't historically like it because they thought it would take away a lot of the protections they had won for women. So historically Democrats, the modern party of unions, the party of New Deal that created a lot of the unions, they were against the ERA. And Republicans, who were historically anti-union, unions didn't like the ERA, anti-union folks liked the ERA. So the Republicans generally liked the ERA, and then as conservatives took over the Republican Party, they said, wait a minute, no more support for ERA because our new voting base are very much women like this, the anti-family value, the family values crowd, and they don't like the ERA. So we don't like the ERA. So you see in 1980, it's the first year that the Republican Party sheds its support for the ERA. They were even supporting it in 1976 when Ford was on the ticket. He's a moderate Republican, so sort of that, the old wing, but as the first conservative in the modern era, Reagan becomes the candidate, he says no more ERA. Republicans, we have historically supported it more than the Democrats. We will not do that anymore because our sort of base is now these family values folks, and they don't like the ERA. Conversely, as the Democratic Party has become the party of modern feminism, and feminists have set their sights on the ERA, you see in 1980 the Democrats and thereafter coming out in favor of the ERA. So you saw that migration. Yes, I do. I told you I could talk forever. I could talk forever.
A deeply discounted copy of the book for $35. You can sign up there, or you can take a coupon from the publisher for 20% off. So $5 more.
And also, please sign up that you came tonight. We're certainly glad you were here. The questions were very important. And Mona Sharma has an important announcement to make, so please, just a moment.
Did you enjoy tonight's program? Yeah. So we have part 2 coming up, but it's at the Teaneck Library on March 15th, this Friday. You can make it at 10:30. The topic is going to continue, and it's Women's Movement from Past to Present and What's Next. So if you can make that with Professor Sally Roche Wagner from Syracuse University. She's also got a book. Yeah. And then on March 21st, I want to announce that we have a program that is going to cover racism, systemic racism, and that's going to be at Fairleigh Dickinson University at 7:30 in the evening. So if you're interested in getting notices of these types of programs, I hope you will sign up and we can send you notices. And then you will be apprised of all the good programs we have. So I want to thank you so much for coming, and I want to thank Don, Emmanuel Church, and the Peace and Justice Committee. Thank you so much.